I haven't watched anime in a while now, so I'm not really caught up on all the latest stories. There are a few I've wanted to watch, but haven't. If you've been watching my streams, you know that I keep saying, I need to watch JJK. I need to watch JJK. I need to watch JJK.
What do we have, ladies? A fucking clown. We are a stupid bitch. We are a fucking clown.
So yesterday, I decided to finally do something about it. I hit up my buddies in Discord because I remembered somebody in there has a Crunchyroll account, and we always try to help each other out. So I sent out the beacon and waited. Then I got the message. Thank you, Seth. Y'all go check him out. He makes videos and he's really funny. And thank you, JD, for sponsoring this vid. Couldn't have done it without you. So enough of the introductions. I laid down to watch JJK and then I had an idea. I was like, oh, I already know some of the characters. Maybe I should draw them. And then it occurred to me, this could be a video. So if y'all draw, you know, context is everything. You can only depict a character so accurately by going off secondary content. I believe you can only really show a character's personality by seeing their story. So that's the premise of today's video. I'll be drawing 2 sets of drawings. One set before watching JJK, and another set after watching at least 1 season. With that said, let's get into it. So let's go over these characters now. I'm just gonna go from left to right. First we have Nobara. She looked really intense in the reference photo I used, so I also drew her really intense. Next we have Nanami. So Nanami, honestly, the first impression I got of him was like a Vash the Stampede clone. I get that type of vibe every time I see people with that style of like glasses and the hair, you know, because they look pretty similar. I've seen very similar looking characters, but I also got Bato from Ghost in the Shell type of vibes because of his glasses. So I don't know, he seems like a stickler. I don't really like the drip. Sorry, I know people really like him, but I'm not here for the drip that he's got. Next we have Sukuna. So for Sukuna, I feel like this was probably the best drawing that I did for the whole set. And I don't know, I was just kind of feeling it. The reference that I used was pretty good. So I really liked his character design. The tattoos were a little hard to recreate, but overall I thought it was a really cool character to draw. Next we have Yuta Okotsu. So I didn't really get much from his character off the reference I used. I think I put sad oboe player or something. Then moving right along we have Yuji. So Yuji I thought was just kind of, I don't know, kind of lackadaisical, kind of lazy, kind of just does whatever he wants. I know he's like sleeping in the train in the intro, because I have seen the intro. Yeah, just drew him taking a little nap. Next we have Gojo, of course, and I feel so upset about this one because you don't have to have watched JJK to know who Gojo is. And I feel like I just did him so dirty with this drawing. Like, I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully the one that I draw after watching will be much, much better because I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I love Gojo. Really, really sad about that one, but it is what it is. Then we have Megumi. Also hard to gain anything from him off of his reference picture that I used, but when I was drawing him, I wrote like angry spiky haired boy. I think my initial impression was like porcupine hair. It's not like normal regular spiky anime hair where it just kind of like goes out in some directions. It literally goes out in any direction that's not supported by gravity, you know what I'm saying? Any direction at all. Then we have Panda. I didn't really know what to draw. It just looked like a panda. So that's what we got for that one. And then we have Toge. And Toge, I think for him, when I was drawing him, I wrote, quiet kid at the back of the class, please be nice to him. But yeah, he just has like a kind of mysterious vibe. So that's what we got for the before pictures. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be reviewing my thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen and talking a little bit about the drawings that I've done now that I've already watched the show. So my thoughts on the show are, one, that's by far the best show I've watched in a very long time. Even among shows that I already know that I like, it ranks pretty high. It's very, very, very like high quality. I really enjoy the animation. I feel like they did a really, really good job. Everything looks so beautiful. The characters was something that surprised me. Like in Bleach, one thing I always talk about when I talk about Bleach is that there's so many characters, but they're all unique and recognizable and have their own personalities. But in Jujutsu Kaisen, obviously there aren't nearly as many characters, but there are still a lot. They're easily identifiable, they're easily distinguishable from each other, they each have their own personalities, their own designs, their own techniques and stuff, obviously. And the thing that surprised me with Jujutsu Kaisen was just how likable most of the characters are. Like, when I had watched just the first season, and I think a little, maybe not into the second season, but when I had just watched the first season, even some of the antagonists, I was like, oh, they're still pretty likable. Like, you understand their motivations and everything. Season 2 kind of changed that a little bit, but ultimately, like, it was just such a good show, and the characters really stole my heart, you know? So, moving on to some of the individual characters, I guess we'll talk about the main 3 or 4 first. So, Gojo, I don't really have to say anything. He's Gojo, okay? Everybody loves Gojo. If you don't love Gojo, you're just lying to yourself. Yuji, I was really off base with my initial appraisal of Yuji, I guess. I thought he was lazy. I thought he was going to be like one of those kind of slack main characters, but he's not. He's pretty cool. The scene where he got his hand cut off in season 1 definitely surprised me. He didn't really react to that. I was like, oh, that's a little crazy. I'm pretty sure if I just went out on my first real mission or whatever, got my fucking hand cut off, I'd probably have some type of reaction to that, you know, like, oh my god, my arm is gone. Or my hand. But anyways, that was a little kind of funny to me, I guess. He's definitely developed a lot over the second season. I feel so bad for him in the second season, especially at the end. But, you know, what are you gonna do? It's the main protagonist. They're always gonna have like a hero's journey or whatever. Then we'll go to Megumi. Megumi, initially, I don't think I really felt anything about him initially, other than like he's the level-headed one in their main group or whatever. He's like the analytical guy in the main squad that they have going on. But towards the end, I really like what they did with his technique. Oh my god, the suicide bomb and in the second season, that was crazy. I really, really liked seeing that. I just thought it was really, really interesting. But I guess that brings me to Sukuna, because I didn't think about talking about Sukuna. Sukuna, I'd seen so much art of Sukuna before actually watching the show, so it surprised me a little bit, at least throughout the first season, why so many people were drawing him, because he wasn't shown very much, in my personal opinion. He's like, oh, he's living inside the main character, you know, like, I thought that he would get more screen time. He didn't, obviously. He got a little bit in season 2, but honestly, I kind of feel like that is because, like, this isn't the first show to have, like, a character with something evil living inside them, but it is kind of the first character where you don't see so many internal, like, monologues between the characters while they're in the same body. And I think that is, maybe they did it intentionally. My interpretation of that is that Yuji is the only one that is capable of making sure he's not released. He is the only one capable of handling him and not taking control of his body. So I feel like they don't show many internal dialogues between them, because it shows how Yuji really is suited for this. Like, he doesn't have problems repressing Sukuna usually, unless he's like about to die, you know. I think it just speaks to how well Suji fills his role and how good he is at it. That was my personal opinion. It's not rooted in anything other than what I saw in the show. But when I thought about it, because I did think about it while I was watching it, that's kind of where I ended up. Then, lastly, we have Nobara. So, Nobara, I feel like female characters in anime are kind of like a touchy subject for me sometimes, because it seems like in a lot of shows, the female characters are only there to be bitchy. And I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but sometimes, especially in the big three, you know, back in the day, the women in those shows, a lot of them are just there to nag, you know, like Sakura, come on now. Or I guess like in Rukia and Bleach, there's a lot that you could name, I feel like. A lot of female characters, they just make them really sassy, but like to the point where it's not really funny. It's just kind of annoying to me personally. Bulma's another example. I can't stand Bulma. Basically any female character in Dragon Ball Z. Chi-Chi too. That's the impression that I got of her when they first picked her up. My opinion definitely shifted. I did discount her a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I discounted her because I felt like her curse wasn't as powerful or as strong as some of the other characters until the episode where they are fighting Choso's brothers. So when they fight Choso's brothers and she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna put a nail through my arm and you're gonna feel it too. And I was like, what? Dang, this girl is crazy, but like in a good way. And I was like, dang, okay, she's for real. And then in the Shibuya arc, she is a real one. She is a real one. R.I.P. Nobara. It really changed the way that I saw her. Those two events in those episodes, that really changed the way I saw her. I was like, dang, she's holding it down. Like, and other than that, I really liked her relationship with Maki. I thought it was really beautiful to see like a story of girls supporting girls. You know, I know that might sound corny, but I don't feel like there's many animes that do like a realistic female to female friendship very well, but this one I feel like really did with her and Maki. Speaking of Maki, I thought her character was interesting. I'm not going to talk about some of the other characters as much just because they, in my opinion, don't play as big of a role. But Maki, I really enjoy her relationship with Nobara. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say about her. I like her backstory. I like how strong-headed she is, how strong-willed she is. I like that she's dedicated to her cause, even though she can't see cursed spirits by herself and she can't use cursed energy. It's very uplifting to see that she just works so hard to do something that nobody thinks that she can. Her sister, Mai, I do not like Mai. I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of the characters from Kyoto, I do not like. I don't like them. The witch girl, I don't even remember her name. I think her name's like Momo something. I don't like her. I do like Miwa. I like Miwa, and I like Mekamaru, even though when I first saw Mekamaru and they kind of explained his character at the exchange event, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. But I really do like the two of them, and I really like the little love interest that they have, especially because Miwa's never really seen him, you know, and Mekamaru, I thought, okay, if you boil it down, everything in Shibuya is kind of Mekamaru's fault, or at least accelerated by Mekamaru, but I completely understand why he did that. Like, in his eyes, he found a way to get a body that would actually function for him after being sick for his whole life. So that's very understandable, and he wanted to meet the love of his life, you know? And when he pulled up with the freaking Evangelion-esque huge mecha, I was like, oh my god, this is going down. And then when he was fighting Mahito, I was like, ooh, okay, he came to play. He's not joking around here. And I really was rooting for him. I'm so sorry that he did not make it through, both for him and Miwa. I still don't really understand how he was able to guide everybody in Shibuya, even though he had passed away already. But you know, sometimes maybe that's just the anime logic and you just go along with it, you know? So yeah, I thought Mekamaru's story was really sad, but also, I guess, kind of victorious. The whole thing about him being able to store up the cursed energy he hadn't used for years and years and years and years was really, really cool in my opinion. I'm gonna go back to the Tokyo school for a minute and talk about some of their characters. So, Panda, I don't dislike Panda per se. his character is a little boring to me in some ways. Like, the thing about him having 3 different modes that he can shift to is interesting. I wish that we got to see the 3rd core that he has. I wish we got to see that form. But other than that, you know, I don't hate the character, but I'm not particularly, me personally, I'm not particularly drawn to that character. He's nice. He's nice for sure. Yuta, so when they were in the movie and Yuta's backstory was revealed, I was like, dang, that's really sad. But I know he still works as a sorcerer, so I'm confused by how he's still a sorcerer if he undid the curse that he did on his little girlfriend when he was a kid or whatever. I don't know how his powers work, other than he's able to curse people. I'm not really sure. It seems like there's repercussions for the things that he curses, so I'm interested to find out how his skill works. And now I will talk about my favorite of the characters at Tokyo, Toge. Toge Inumaki. I don't know why. Okay, but he is so good. I love his character. I love, like, the designs that they had, even when they flash back in the movie. I thought his design was really, really good. The curse speech is really, really cool to me. I like the tattoos. I haven't cosplayed in a long time, but I think if I found a convention that I wanted to go to, I think maybe I would try to cosplay as Toge. Yeah, I really like the voice. And before, I guess for clarification, I watched the sub. I have seen some clips of the dub. I don't think his voice in the dub is terrible from what I've seen, but it's definitely better to me hearing the original, the Japanese version. In addition to that, he's just a cutie, okay? I don't know what else to say. This boy is adorable. So adorable. So yeah, I stand Toge. Alright, go ahead and make fun of me, I don't care. Toge is such a sweetie pie, okay. Now, some of the other characters, I might be missing a few from Kyoto, honestly, I don't really care. Oh, I'm missing the archer guy. Yeah, don't really feel anything towards him. I didn't like a lot of the Kyoto characters, but it's whatever. So I'll talk about how I felt about Geto and Gojo's relationship in the movie. First of all, I loved those episodes. It was really cool to see them going to Jujutsu High together. The storyline itself was super duper sad. I was like, wow, that's tragic. But yeah, it was really nice to see them, like, being best friends and everything, and it made it a little bit more heartbreaking when they stopped the flashback episodes to come back and show what Geto was now doing. So I felt really, really bad for Gojo in Shibuya. Toji is just a menace. I don't know what else to say about Toji. Toji has the BDE, if you will, but yeah, he's just a huge, muscly man. I don't know what else to say. Like, he's literally built like a triangle. Any other characters that I missed? Did I miss any other characters? Oh! What's his name? Togo. I really did enjoy Togo's character. He is one of the only... Well, I guess he's one of the few Kyoto students that I really, really did like. I love Boogie Woogie. I think it's beautiful. His obsession with the idol girl is really, really cool. I love it. I think it's hilarious, too, that he has, like, the locket of her or whatever. Yeah, it's just... I just really, really like his character, and I think that he really helped Yuji develop as a character. And, you know, he learned some skills from him, which is good. Their little tag team that they do, their little duo that they run is incredible. I love it. And I really like how he's just always able to pick him up, you know, like Togo comes up and he's like, my best friendo. And it's really just like, dang, mood lifted. So overall, my thoughts on the show, I will have to rate this a 10 out of 10 for me personally. I'm going to be putting it a 10 out of 10 on my anime list. For those of you that use it, for those of you that care. But that's my personal opinion on the show. I love it, and I can't wait for a season 3. So I'll be patiently waiting until probably 2025 to 2026, I've seen is like the projections. But as soon as they release anything new for it, immediately I am watching it, because the show was certified. Like, it's just that good. Okay, guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If there is an anime or a manga, a show, anything like that that you'd like to see in this type of video format where I draw them once and then watch or read the content and then draw them again, then be sure to leave that in the comments, and I'd like to make this a series on my show, so I'd really be looking forward to the comments that you guys leave. Alright, thanks. Bye. I almost forgot to say, all of the images that were in this video will be available in my Discord, so make sure that you guys go to the Discord if you'd like to download it. The one of Yuji and Sukuna is actually supposed to be a phone background, if you guys would like that. I made 2 versions. There's one where like the background is more blurred so they stand out more, and then there's one where the backgrounds are just intact. So be sure to go over to my Discord if that's something that you guys are interested in, and I'll see you in the next one.